Welcome to EBA 101 Boxing, and today we're going to talk about some boxing news that happened this week. Things are shifting. Pacquiao got stripped or put in recess as a champion, and Ugas was moved up to become the champion for the 147. And there's rumors that Earl Spence and him have verbally agreed to do a unification fight. So why was Manny Pacquiao, put in recess? There's a lot of speculation of him wanting to fight McGregor before his loss, and now there's rumors and almost confirmed at this point where he might have an exhibition match versus Ryan Garcia, and this is head turner for a lot of people because it's a fight that a lot of people weren't asking for. It might be like an exhibition, so it's not going to really go against each record. Uh, it doesn't do much for either of them, but just build the popularity of the winner. I don't know how serious it's going to be. I know Ryan Garcia, he says he's still going to go for the knockout. It's still going to be a great experience for him to be in the ring. If he ends up winning, then he'll be looking good. I'm surprised how many people are like making fun of it. You know, Miyagi, Karate Kid memes were put out there. Um, but a lot of people said like he's fighting Grandpa, this and that. But Pacquiao just beat Keith Thurman last year, right? And Keith Thurman was coming off his injury, or for a while he wasn't looking good in his previous fight against Josecito Lopez. But Manny Pacquiao was in talks of people wanting him to fight Earl Spence, and they weren't talking about, oh, he's really old. So I don't get that aspect because I still favor Manny Pacquiao in that fight to win. Even in his later career, uh, he still has that power. He's be champion at 147, so I don't know what weight class it's going to be. But if it's an exhibition, I'm guaranteeing it's most likely close to 147, even though we don't know what it is. Um, so Ugas and Spence, it's going to be a fight that would unify titles. Of course, a lot of people are going to pick Spence to win that fight. Just Ugas is actually pretty big, and so he's not that he's gonna have the size advantage, but I think he's still a little longer, and then the volume that he outputs. Uh, a lot of critics were when Sean Porter fought Ugas because Sean Porter tried to box him, and there was not a lot of that. Uh, a lot of punches being thrown, volume being thrown, um, and that's where probably he would have done a little bit better. But yet, Ugas is a pretty big boxer at 147, so it was probably harder to push him around and get in there. Um, but I see this kind of going a little bit similar to Danny Garcia versus Earl Spence. I think Ugas might do a little bit better just because of his distance that he created. He's a little bit better boxer from the counter punching and the volume. So, but I could see it going exactly the same way. It's not a fight that excites me, but I do respect that Ugas is a good fighter. Um, I think he doesn't get as much credit as he's supposed to because of his style that he has. But we'll see. There's also news about Canelo. Canelo is fighting, his mandatory in February, and then He's almost guaranteed a fight with Joe Sanders in May, and that's a for a unification title. Um, and if that is the truth, if he Canelo can get out past his mandatory, then um, Yardis or something like that, uh, he will be fighting Saunders, which I know a lot of people are going to critique because he's another European, this and that. But he does have a title. Canelo has mentioned he does want to unify, and Plant has been offered the fight twice, from what I've heard. It's always been about time limit, but Canelo's fighting like super close to each other right now, and I think he's trying to make up. And he does want to fight as much as he can right now in his prime. Every time he's fighting, he's probably making around 20-30 million dollars. So if he fights more frequently, he gets more money in his pockets. Um, Especially when it's some of these fights look pretty easy for him to go through, at least his last fight. And if he beats Yardas, um, pretty good in his mandatory and comes out unscathed, fights Billy Joe Sanders, then he's still available for September, which would be his third fight in the year. Uh, which a lot of fighters right now that are superstars have kind of driven away from fighting up to three times a year. It's usually been those two times a year. I think, it started a trend. Maybe Oscar De La Hoya, Mayweather just fighting once or twice a year, um, and it happens right because the press conferences tend to be bigger fights, this and that. But right now, there's not a lot of press conferences going on. Not a lot of tours passing by to other countries, so it works out in his favor. And I wish I could see that more from other people. And Teofimo Lopez actually mentions this in hot boxing. He got an interview with Mike Tyson, and that's where also Teofimo Lopez is looking to fight Camboso in Australia, but because of the ban, he might not be able to go over there. Um, and now he might fight David Henney. That was an interesting episode and an interesting fight. And if it is, then there's gonna be no more rumors of like he's a disputer or not, because if he beats David Henney, that would be great. But that's the news I had this week. And peace out. Like and subscribe to my channel. 15 subscribers away from getting 100 subscribers. So please subscribe and share. Bye.